Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Fangirl with me, Destiny. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, or if you're listening on Spotify, follow us on Spotify. Yeah, guys, I need to dive right in this week because boy, do I have a lot to say. And I'm also filming this very, very late because my AT show is tomorrow. And then I'm busy on Thursday, and I usually want to upload the podcast on Thursdays. So it's really a thing for me. Like, I could technically, do this on Thursday, but I just don't want to like film, edit, and upload on the same day. And it's really a pride thing for me because I want to show myself that I can be consistent with something. So if I'm a little loopy, that is why. It's almost like it's so late. Anyway, Love Island's done. Love Island's over. Oh, like I am sad because like it has taken up the past month and a half for me, but I am kind of excited to like, I don't know, read, go outside maybe. I don't know. But at the rate that it's going now, I'm never going to shut up about these people. I'm never going to shut up about it. Especially, we will be talking about Love Island again once the reunion happens, which is August 25th. Is what they said at the end of the finale. So, I don't think that it should be a shock of what I am unhinged about this week. It's still Nicolandria. It's still Love Island. It's all of the above. And you guys are just going to have to stick with me through this for who knows how long, because at the rate that it's going now, like, I will be talking about Nicolandria for the rest of my life. Like, they have made such an impact on me. It's not even funny. But I have so many notes that I need to get through that I just need to start, and then we just have to go. I think the last episode that we talked about, I actually don't even remember. Girl, I don't even remember. But I do know that Nick and Nicolandria were coupled up at that point. So I'm just going to talk about everything that has happened so far, which is obviously the finale. And, a couple things are happening after the finale and after they have their social media back. There's actually so much content going around that I am overwhelmed to the highest degree. And I have never been so obsessed with anything, I fear. I think that's a lie that I just said, but like, I can't remember a time where I have been this obsessed with my phone. I mean, I haven't even checked my screen time. I meant to check it before I started recording, but like, my screen time is up expeditiously. Like, I don't think I used that word correctly, but you know what I mean. Like, I am always on Twitter. I haven't been this obsessed with Twitter since the One Direction days. I mean, I'm checking that every hour on the hour, every half hour on the half hour. Like, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And I'm sorry for anyone who has to come encounter with me for the next, I don't know, year. Because I don't see this lifting. I don't see this going away. I really, 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 really don't. I really don't. And if anything happened, which I don't even want to say, but if anything ever happens to them, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, and I will need to be checked in somewhere. But anyway, let me get to all of my freaking notes because I have so many. I forgot what episode happened last, but I'm talking about the episode where Nick is talking to Ace, and he's in like the pink hoodie, which we found out was Hannah's because apparently Nick only had hello? He only had 6 shirts in the villa. Wow, this is going to be fun because I can't speak and I'm hungry and I'm tired. What a combo. But the conversation that he had with Ace where he was like talking about Nicolandria and he's like, I feel like a kid again. I get so giddy when I'm around her. You're kidding, right? You're kidding. You're kidding. There's no way you just said that. There's no way you just said that. He literally is like, I get the flutters. Don't even play with me right now. That's insane. And then they were talking for a little bit. The thing about this episode that was so funny to me was I was hoping, because at that point they hadn't had their first kiss outside of a challenge while they've been coupled up together. Like, obviously they kissed in the challenge and it was phenomenal, but like they hadn't had that first kiss, and they went into the speakeasy and I was like, wow. I was so excited. I was up out of my seat. They went to the speakeasy. They were talking. No kiss. And I was like, okay. But looking further into it, I think they were just both nervous and they didn't know how to navigate it. Me being their therapist. And then they went into the photo booth. And then they were like doing photos. Blah, blah, blah. They're so cute. She's like on his lap. I can't even talk about it without even like, I can't. So, and then there's one photo where Nick like grabs Alandria's boobs, and I was just like, Nicholas, I can't deal with you. And then at the end they kiss, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then what does Peacock decide to do? Cut to commercial. They cut that kiss off. I was yelling at my TV. I've never been more angry in my life. I'm like, why? Peacock, we have been waiting. We have been waiting for this moment. And you decide to cut this kiss off. The first kiss that they have outside of a challenge while they are coupled up. Don't piss me off. That's what you did. You pissed me off that night. And I was so upset. Because we saw Pepe and Iris making out. We saw everybody else making out, and yet they got cut off. Okay. I also said that, what did I say? Oh, I said I would go insane in the villa for multiple reasons, but specifically the fact that I wouldn't know what music had been released since I had been there. That I was typing that mid episode. And that's so true, because if I'm in the villa, I obviously have no connection to the outside world. I would literally be like, okay, who announced a comeback? Who just released music? Imagine me in the villa while the Justin Bieber album came out. I would have lost my mind. I would have lost my mind. Are you kidding? And I had no knowledge of it? No. Somebody would have to skywrite something for me. Like, that would have been critical, which I want to talk about the Justin Bieber album, but I fear that I will be talking about Love Island way too much to even touch on it. But just know I've listened and I love, okay? I love. Anyway. So in that episode, everyone, who got a text? I think it was Shelly. Shelly got a text that was like, the hideaway's open, blah, 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 blah. And then everybody picked Ace and Shelly, because last time everybody picked Maya and Brian. So obviously I thought that Shelly and Ace would be the first couple in the hideaway, but whatever. I'm glad that the hideaway opened twice. Okay. I'm glad that the hideaway opened twice and they picked Ace and Shelly, and I was like, woo, they deserve it. Yay, 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 yay. Iris decides to go, I thought they would pick us. Baby, what made you think they were going to pick you? You have no problem doing whatever you want to do in that bed, so why would they pick you? Ace and Shelly were the strongest couple, the longest couple. They deserve some time alone. Iris, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Like, stop. That just like rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. Whatever. It's literally not a big deal. And then I also, which made me, since Iris and Pepe have no problem doing what they want to do in that bed, another internal thought of mine, I was like, I would actually kill someone if I had to listen to other people have sex in the bedroom while I'm sleeping. Like, it would actually be easier to kill me, like, it would be easier, because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to even think about the possibility of that happening 5 feet away from me. And it's just like, I'm not that girl, and like, I can never be that bold. One, to do it in front of you are in front of other people because everybody can hear you. I'm not that bold to do that. Also, not only are you doing it in a room with other people, you're doing it on TV. Let's not forget we're doing it on TV. Have we no shame? Have we no embarrassment? I'm not saying that you should be embarrassed to have sex with someone that you like. I'm just saying, like, on TV. I know they cover themselves up for the most part. Like, they put those covers over their heads and they think they're the only ones in the world. But, like, the truth of the matter is you're not. The truth of the matter is there are about 10 cameras in this bedroom. And about 20 people in these beds. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So then, this was when they picked, I think it was, did I not talk about Family Day in here? Did I not? I didn't even talk about, okay. I didn't even write down any thoughts about Family Day. Okay, let me just say, off the top of my head, I loved Family Day. I thought it was so nice that they got to actually, like, see their families in person. It was so, so, so cute. Everybody was crying. I was crying. I was like, wow, this is really emotional. When Brian was, like, sobbing, I'm like, okay. And then, oh, no, even before Nick had even knew that his mom was going to come in, like, they thought it was going to be, like, a video call, Nick was crying in the kitchen. Nick was crying in the kitchen in his mommy's little meatball shirt. Oh, my God, my baby. Why would... Stop. That was so adorable. But I love seeing everybody's families. It was so nice to see. It's always, like, fun to, see what other people think about their couples. Any standouts? I mean, I obviously was so excited to see Nick's mom and Ella. Ella is Nick's sister in the villa. I mean, Nicolandria stands since forever, okay? They were riding that horse till dawn. Also seeing Alandria's mom and her relationship with her, they talk to each other like they're best friends. And they are best friends, but, like, I just think that's so sweet to see. And she's like, body tea? Yes, girl, body tea. Alandria, you have no waist. And that is crazy to me. I saw a tweet that was like, if I was surviving off of pancakes and bacon for a month and a half, like, my waist would be like, I would not look like Alandria. Her genetics are literally insane. And I'm jealous. Okay, I said it. I'm jealous. Another standout moment for me during Family Day was obviously one, Nick's mom being like, okay, your ship name is wrong. It's actually Nicolandria. She said that to the group. What else? I also Chris, like, breaking down and, like, sobbing in his mother's arms. I'm like, wow. Okay, wow. But also the moment where he was, like, talking to his sister and mom, and he was like, what do y'all think? And they're like, we like her. Hers and Huda. We like her. And he's like, really? You don't have anything to say? They're like, no, we understand her. We get her. He's like, nothing at all. No criticism. Because he was looking for a way out, okay? And I think I talked about this in the last episode, but, like, it was very obvious that Chris was done. Done. D-O-N-E, done with Huda. And so he was really looking for that, like, my parents, right, my mom is unsure, blah, 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 so, like, something to grab onto, and there wasn't anything. And, like, he was just the last couple days with Chris were kind of confusing, because, like, I knew exactly what he, like, wanted to say or wanted to do or wanted to act like, and I was like, but he's just not doing it. Like, earlier in the day, he was really nervous for Huda to meet his mom, because I'm pretty sure he probably takes that stuff very seriously. And he's like, I know we're not in a good place, and I really, like, I kind of don't want her to meet her, But then he was, like, totally fine afterwards. So I don't know. Any other standouts? after seeing Pepe's mom, I understand why he likes who he likes. That's all I'll say there. Who else? Who else was there? Huda's sisters are so pretty. So pretty. Oh, Iris's mom did not like Pepe. Because Iris was like, it was Pepe, it was Iris's sister and mom. Also, if you hear people screaming, like, no, you don't. I'm sorry. But Iris was like to her sister, oh, you like Pepe, right? And then her mom was like, I don't know, I'm picky. She didn't like him. She did not like him. So that's that. She probably liked TJ more for Iris, but whatever. Okay, Iris, Pepe, Chris, Huda, Nick. Oh, Shelly and Ace. I don't really have anything to say about their families. Their family visit was fine. I thought it was whatever. And then that was when, that whole day, then they picked the final four. Now, I already knew that, like, once they started off with this, they had like a plate in the middle of a table. It's like, it was a long table. It was like Thanksgiving in the villa. And then they had like a little plate with the cover on it. And then it revealed if they were going to the final or not. Once they started with Amaya and then Chris and Huda were right next to Amaya, I said, they've done it again. The Hood Rats have done it again, and they have saved this woman once again with a man who doesn't like her. And we saw that fight before we started voting. So they were well aware of what was happening in that villa. And yet, they still voted for her anyway. So I wrote down, this final four is fucked. Like, there's actually, like, now, I know that I am not a fan of Ace. And I think I've talked about that, okay? I'm not the biggest fan of Ace. Was I warming up to the idea of him and Shelly? Yes, I was. Because I'm like, okay, they are really cute together. He really does care for her. Vice versa. Like, I think, you know, technically speaking, in Love Island terms, they are the strongest couple here. They had just made things exclusive in the Hideaway. And this season is really a testament that, like, once you become exclusive in this villa, in this season, you're about to be sent home immediately. So that was fun to watch. But, and by fun to watch, I mean not at all. So once, you know, it was Amaya, Brian, they were saved. Chris and Huda, they were saved. Nick and Nicolandria, they were saved. Which, by the way, Nick and Nicolandria were the only couple that kissed after they got saved. Right. Let's wake it up. Let's wake it up. So then it's revealed that Ace and Shelly were eliminated. Like I just said, they were the strongest couple. It wasn't even a thought in my head that they wouldn't be in the finale for some reason. Because I'm like, no, they have like a lot of supporters. Like, people really like them. Even though I will admit I did not vote for them. Okay, I did not vote for them. But I was coming around to the idea. I'm like, okay, well, I think for the finale, like, I genuinely was like, I'm going to give one of my votes to obviously Nick and Nicolandria. And then the other vote I was going to give to Ace and Shelly. Because I'm like, it made sense to me. It really did. Because again, in Love Island territory, like, that, they were the definition of Love Island. You know what I mean? Like, they went through all the trials and tribulations. They, you know, did Casa Amor. They came back to each other. Like, it just made sense. Like, that is the journey. That is the journey that you have to go on in Love Island. And obviously, I've done nothing but sing Nicolandria's praises. But yeah, I wasn't even a thought in my head that they weren't going to be there. And they deserve to be there because every other couple, and no shade, every other couple had been together for max 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't feeling right. And I think this season is a testament to, I think, the new fan base that Love Island has created. And I really do love, like, I loved having that kind of community again. And I think that's what everyone craves when we all get obsessed with the show. Like, we just crave community and we want to, have common interests with people. But I think that the voting this season, we had our moments where we were like, okay, let's vote for our favorite islander, your favorite girl, your favorite boy, right? So yeah, of course you're going to vote for your favorite girl, whatever. But when it came to like the couple votes, I definitely think that people's opinions about one person in the couple played a role in it. And I am guilty of that as well, because I wasn't voting for Taylor and Clark. Who's your favorite couple? Not Taylor and Clark. Why? Because I don't like Taylor. And I understand that is also the reason why I didn't vote for Ace and Shelley ever, because I didn't like Ace. But ignorantly enough, I thought that they had a big enough fan base to be like, you know what? We're going to ride for Ace and Shelley because they deserve it. But apparently it wasn't big enough. And they got sent home. And it's just like, I don't understand how someone who was in a couple with a man who doesn't even like her made it to the finals, and not a couple that actually showed each other every single episode that they actually care about each other. So, that's, I don't know. It's just like, it just never, it still doesn't feel right to me. But I think they're fine. Like, I don't think they really cared that much. I think what really mattered was that they found each other and they made their relationship exclusive on the outside. And I think they're happy. And I think they're taking a much needed social media break, because I'm sure there are people in their comment sections who are not being nice. But yeah, I don't know. I felt bad for them. I really did. But I think they were happy to leave, if I'm being honest. But yeah, Chris didn't even like Huda. It's also the fact that we saw that they needed a mediator to settle the fight between them. And they didn't even settle it. Chris was just like, I'm done talking about it. Like, there was no resolution, really. He was just like, I'm done talking about it because I'm done with you. He didn't say that last part, but that's what he meant. So that was fun. Yay. But yeah, I just feel like people weren't voting for their actual favorite couple. Like, the two people together are really nice together, I think people were voting for Huda and Chris because they only like Huda. And people were voting for Pepe and Iris because they really like Pepe and they think he's hot. But y'all don't want to talk about that. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, I wrote down, to be honest, I was very close to voting for Ace and Shelley, like I said, because if you want to talk about longevity, it's them. Like, they were the couple that I was like, okay, they are actually going to last for a while on the outside. Now, I love Nick and Nicolandria, okay? I'm rooting for them so heavily, and I really want them to work, but I still had my doubts. And if I'm being honest, sometimes I still do have doubts. I think they do like each other. Obviously, they obviously have chemistry. They have that physical connection. They have an emotional connection, and I think it's going well. But I mean, it's only 2 days out of the villa. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to work. I really do. And I think they will make it work, because I'm very fearful, and I don't want to, these are my trust issues coming out, because I'm talking about this like it's my relationship, but I don't know. I just am scared that it's just not going to work out, and they're going to be like, actually, we should be friends again. That is literally my worst fear. And if that happens, I will do something drastic. But that's not going to happen, because I really do think they like each other, and I think they're just figuring it out. And I also don't want the pressure of everyone shipping them to get to them in a way. And I know they're really loving the edits that they're seeing and the support, but I don't want them to, get anxious about making the public proud when it's really about them and their relationship. The parasocial's coming out me. Woo! Yay. But I think people weren't voting for Ace and Shelley because people were still mad at Ace about the whole Jeremiah situation and why they kicked him out. And obviously the Amaya situation because Amaya is, the people's princess and you don't mess with her. And I think since it, Babe got brought up again during the Standing on Business Challenge, it was again fresh in people's minds. So they were like, bro, what? That definitely played a factor into it, I think. And then people were also angry at Shelley because of the whole Huda heart rate challenge situation. Also, I do have to talk about the racism that was happening with Shelley and Nicolandria and the posts that were made by very public news sites. And by news sites, I mean BuzzFeed, which is not even a news site. But, they were talking about giving Shelley a knuckle sandwich on their main feed. Granted, I never saw the post, but I heard multiple things about that. And it's just also strange because Peacock, when Huda was, getting pummeled online because of the whole Jeremiah situation, they brought up, they made statements on their social medias. They made statements in the middle of the show about it. But then when Nicolandria and Shelley were getting all of this hate because they are Black women, it was kind of radio silence, and they only released a statement. In my opinion, they only released another statement on social media about being kind was because Ariana was taking heat. Not to make it about race, but it's always about race at the end of the day. And it's something that has to be talked about. And I don't think enough people are talking about it. And I think I also want to touch on this later about, now that they're out of the villa and they're going on all of these podcasts, specifically a lot of white podcasts or podcasts hosted by white people who in the past have not been very gracious or honestly just nice to people of color, aka mainly Black people, but also people of color. It's bigger than just a show, and it's bigger than just, I don't know. It's interesting. I think I'm going to try to wrap up my thoughts at the end about all of that because I watched Nick did Chicks in the Office today who were hating on Nick and Nicolandria the entire season. From just the clips that I saw. Okay, I don't listen to their podcasts because that's just not my type of podcast that I want to listen to. And also, I tried to watch Taylor and Clark on the Vile Files today, and I just couldn't get through it because I just don't like Nick Vile. But again, it's just, he just really rubs me the wrong way, and I just don't like him at all. Anyway, now we're moving on to the actual finale. And I'm going to try to go line by line, but this is just this is mainly about Nick and Nicolandria because that obviously is that's the only people I cared about. Okay, you would have thought the way I was campaigning for Nick and Nicolandria, you would have thought that I was literally door knocking. I essentially was door knocking because I texted my friends and I'm like, I need a favor. Make it sound urgent. And I'm like, okay, I need you to download the Love Island app. It's never that serious, but it is that serious when it comes to Nick and Nicolandria because I don't play about them. I don't play about them because they mean more to me than I think people are actually my Black girls understand it means more than just Nick and Nicolandria, they're so cute, blah, blah, blah. Yes, obviously that's that, but it's, again, it is the principle. It is the principle because, anyway, first off, the start of the finale, I think the finale was 2 hours long. We're about 5 minutes in. Nick, he doesn't throw Nicolandria, but he tosses Nicolandria on the daybeds. He says congratulations and gives her the kiss of a lifetime. Gives her the kiss of a lifetime. I've watched that kiss a stupid amount of times. Okay? If I had a tracker, it would be embarrassing because, listen, and I've always said this and I'll say it one more time. Nick is a whore. He is. We saw that the first week in there, okay? But one thing that Nick does know how to do, that man knows how to kiss. He knows how to kiss a woman. Specifically, he knows how to kiss Nicolandria. I'm thinking about it again, and it's actually going to drive me crazy. And I want to give Nicolandria her flowers too, because she also knows how to kiss. Because one thing about Nicolandria, she's going to find that lower lip. She's going to find that bottom lip, and she is going to tug. That kiss on the daybeds, the same place where they said that they were better off as friends, you must be joking. You must be joking. And the romance writers are, they're, you can't make this up. You can't write this in a novel. I mean, you can, obviously, but like, I don't even have the words. I don't even have the words for that kiss. I don't. And another thing that actually did piss me off was because that kiss was so incredible and they did not cut it. Thank you, Peacock. They did not fucking cut that. Now, after we all voted, after the tallies have been, after we have deliberated, and then people see that kiss, and then I go on Twitter after the finale, people are talking about that kiss. I'm like, woo, 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 woo. And then everybody's like, I get it now. I see it. You see it now? Baby, you're a little too late to see it. Are you kidding me? Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Oh, now I see they really like each other. Bro, just because a couple is not all over each other all the time, just because a couple is not hunching in the bed next to you, does not mean that they don't like each other. That actually just pissed me off. Because, like, can't y'all see the signs? It doesn't always have to be right in front of your face to see it. That pissed me off. Anyway, now we are getting into, also, that was also the moment where Nick actually told Nicolandria that he kissed her the second day in. And she's like, why didn't you say this sooner? Like, what were you doing? And then he mocks her, which is so funny, but not in a bad way. Because she's like, oh, you're quite the catch. And then he's like, you're quite the catch. Trying to like, anyway, whatever. Again, I've seen that scene way too many times. So like, I'm going to recite it word for word. Okay, now we have got to keep it moving. Now we're getting into the hood drama of it all. It's the last night in the villa. Everybody's so excited. It's date day. Actually, it's not the last night. Sorry. But, you know, everybody's excited. You know, we all made it to the final four. There's pillow fights happening. Chris, you know, being the big man he is, he does not know his own strength, is what I've observed in the villa. But like I said, he also does not like Huda. Chris decks Huda in the face with the pillow, right? Mind you, it is a pillow. But Huda being Huda, she has to, you know, take it there. People were saying that she didn't want to like mess up her nose job. Whatever, I don't know. She's like, oh, Chris, you decked me in the face. And he did not get up to comfort her. But it it wasn't that serious. But then she comes back into the room with a bandage on her nose. Baby, it wasn't bleeding. I know it wasn't. She just wants to be dramatic. That's all that was. A little Nicolandria moment before bed. This was the first moment that I realized that Nick calls Nicolandria O. Oh, we're doing nicknames now? I knew about Nicky Poo, but I didn't know about O. Okay. She gets into bed and he's like, you smell good, O. I'm just leaving that there. Like, the don't even. But anyway, lights turn off, right? Hoda and Chris are in bed. Hoda is tapping Chris. She's begging him to cuddle her. And he's like, I'm sleeping. I want to sleep. I don't want to cuddle right now. I just want to sleep. And she's like, she's using a manipulative tactic on him. She's like, if you don't cuddle me right now, like I'm gonna make tomorrow miserable. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? She starts counting him down. She literally goes 3, 2, and then taps him again. It's the cycle is repeating itself. I felt like when Jeremiah was like, you're treating me like a mom. Literally, she treated Chris like a mom in that moment. That was hard to watch. That was really hard to watch. Anyway, back to Nicolandria. They are the first ones to go on their date. Yay! They went on their date. And Nick went up to the makeup room? I guess. He went up to the makeup room to get Nicolandria. And she goes, hey, Nikki Poo. And he goes, hey, cowgirl. That was like a cigarette, hearing that. I felt like I need to smoke a cigarette. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. And then, I don't know if he mentioned this on the date, I think. But he was like, Nicolandria is like my hard-boiled egg, hard on the outside, but really soft on the inside. This podcast is going to be a lot of silence because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about them. Like, they make me feel things that I haven't felt in years. Literally, this makes me worried that if I ever get a crush again, it will take me out. It will take me out and I will never be the same. Because what, guys? What? I'm not going to be... No, I can't do it. I can't do it. But anyway, this isn't about me. So during this date, they're like walking on the beach. They're being really cutesy. They're finding messages in bottles. Okay. Message in a bottle is, and the first couple of messages, my nose is itching like crazy. Someone's talking shit about me. The first couple of messages were from fans saying their support, saying how much they love them. I'm just interested, Peacock, if you want to let me know, like leave a comment down below. I wasn't contacted to submit a letter to Nicolandria, so I think that might have got lost in the mail. Like, did you have the right apartment number when you sent that request out? Like, I don't know. It's just odd. Anyway, so they're reading these messages. And the part that really got me was when Nicolandria read the note that Nick's dad wrote for him. That got me crying. Because he started talking about how, the basis of a really good relationship is a friendship. And he was like, this is what me and your mom did. And that's why we've been together for like 35 years. I said, that part really got me. And Nick was crying. So I was crying, obviously. And then Nick read a letter that Nicolandria's sisters wrote for her. And this is literally the one and only time that Nicolandria has cried while being in the villa. Do you know what that means? Nicolandria didn't even cry when she was getting eliminated in front of the girls. The girls were boo-hooing. Y'all saw Huda was screaming. Shelly was bent over Nicolandria's suitcase sobbing. And Nicolandria... stone cold, like not stone cold. Obviously she was sad, but like just so stoic. Not even, she didn't shed a tear until she was outside the villa. And yet when Nick is reading this lovely letter that her sisters wrote for her, showing their support for her relationship, she starts crying. Boo-hooing crying. She felt comfortable enough with Nick to let that wall down and be vulnerable. And yet people keep saying it's forced. And yet people say there's no chemistry. And yet people say they're scammers. Literally talk to the hand. I don't care. I don't care. There's a fucking woman scream laughing downstairs. Bruh. I'm ready to bomb this apartment once again. Anyway. That was just incredible to watch. That was incredible to see. And their date was perfect. Also, Pepe and Iris, their date was cute. It was like, whatever. Also, they mentioned that Pepe has a boat. Pepe. Let me in on that. Anyway. I don't think I've seen a moment where a Final Four couple is breaking up the day before the finale. And then that same couple who broke up the day before the finale ends up being in third place. Not even last. You Huda defenders will hear it from me. Because in Love Island USA history, I don't think there's been a Final Four couple that's broken up. Huda and Chris broke up during their date. They weren't talking to each other all day because of what Huda did last night, and she wanted to wait and to bring it up on the date. And Chris used one of the oldest tricks in the book, because we obviously know that he was not feeling Huda. So he's like, I know you want to say something. I know something's on your mind. Just say it. Like, it'll be fine. I think we're thinking the same thing. And so he gets her to break up with him, even though obviously he wanted to break up with her days ago. And then, I'm not kidding, when that singer came out for Huda and Chris, first of all, I was like, I thought that it was Amaya and Brian like walking to their date. I thought it was a continuity error. I'm like, oh, they didn't mean to show that shot of them like walking to their date. They really didn't mean it. And then the woman stepped into the light and she starts singing Moon River. Mid-fight, by the way. Right. And then since they're on like this little dock area and they have to like literally wade in the water, Huda's like, are you going to carry me? And he's like, no, I'm not going to carry you. Okay. I thought when Huda reached for that bottle, she was just going to take the whole bottle and walk through the water, because that would have been real as hell. Okay. I also thought since they had broken up, they weren't going to do the declarations of love. And when they did Amaya. They did Iris and Pepe first, then Amaya and Brian. And I was like, oh yeah, the way that they were seated, I'm like, okay, they skipped Chris and Huda. There was a commercial break. They said, Chris and Huda are up next. I said, what are they going to say to each other? What could they possibly say to each other right now? But it ended up being really sweet. Like, both of their messages were very nice and like respectful. But I'm jumping ahead. But then obviously Nicolandria were last, and I was very happy about that. Oh, I forgot to mention Amaya and Brian their date was really cute, seeing like their baby photos, and that photo book that they had was adorable. And I wasn't expecting Brian to like close things off at the date, but I'm happy that he did that, because I think that's really sweet. And I think that showed like, I really do mean what I say, and like I want to see where this goes. But I do have to say, in Nick's interview that he did, my nose will not stop itching. In Nick's interview that he did today on Chicks in the Office, he said that him, Brian, and Chris were thinking about moving out to LA together to be roommates. And the one reason that I was like, oh yeah, I think that relationship between Amaya and Brian can work was because Brian was in Boston and Amaya is in New York. So I'm like, okay, that's like a 2-hour train ride. No big deal. But now if Brian wants to move to LA with Nick and Chris, that makes me nervous. I would be lying if I said that didn't make me nervous, because I'm like, okay, now you're on the complete opposite side of America. So I don't know about that. That also makes me really nervous about Nicolandria, because I don't see Alandria wanting to move to LA. But obviously, I think maybe if the opportunity is there and she's presented with a lot, she might. Because I think she lives in Dallas. No, that's not true. I don't know. She lives somewhere in the South. And Nick obviously lives in Florida. So I'm like, Alabama, Florida, not that bad. But that, I don't know. I'm just speculating right now, and I'm just reciting what I heard. But anyway, there's that. In Nick's speech, when he was talking, obviously he was talking to Alandria, but he was like, I was always your secret admirer. Like, you can't write this shit. You can try, but these are... No. And so Iris and Pepe ended up getting fourth, right? And I kept saying to people that I was seeing online, if you're voting for Iris and Pepe, you're about to vote third party. You know what I mean? Like, your vote does not matter. You need to go where your voice is heard and where your vote matters and will make a difference. And Iris and Pepe was not it. It wasn't. It really wasn't. Like, it just made me sad to see. It really made me sad to see. Also, I just have to say that Huda still getting third is just insane. And it does make me sick to think about, because I'm like, since Shelly and Ace weren't in the finale, a lot of those people who were going to vote for them transferred over to try to get Nicolandria to win, right? But I started thinking, like, if we didn't have those extra votes, those extra Shelly and Ace votes, I fear Huda and Chris would have been second, which... No, I would have thrown something at my TV. Because what? No, that actually, I can't even think about that possibility. Thankfully, that did not happen. But that got me thinking. It really got me thinking. But whatever. But yes, Nicolandria gets second. Amaya wins. She gets the Zoomies. She literally runs around the entire villa with Brian. Her reaction was so sweet. And I think that I really hope her and Brian really work out, because I do think they understand each other in a way that other people in the villa were not understanding. And, yeah, like, I think she said, like, I'm the fire and you're the water. Like, we just complement each other so well. And I love that for them. I really, really do. And even at the end, they were like, Ariana was like, oh, what do you want to do with the money? And they both were like, we want to donate some of it, to charities that they care about. And I thought that was so sweet and so cute. Also, for Love Island in the future, I think we need to get rid of the ploy of, like, are you going to split the money, or are you going to take it all for yourself? Because what? I don't know. It's just like a twist that I'm not liking anymore. I'm like, let's just be nice. Let's just be nice, okay? I don't know. But whatever. I think they're probably going to keep it. Now that everybody's out of the villa, everybody has their phones back, everybody's back in the US, like, whoop, 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 whoop. Now is the time where it gets crazy, okay? Now is the time where I'm actually, like, following these people's every move. I'm thinking about them all the time, which I was doing before, but now I'm like, what are they doing today? Are they going on a date? Are they together right now? Like, it's so so bad. It's so bad that I literally re-downloaded Snapchat to follow Nick on there to get updates. I put my push notifications back on for Snapchat after re-downloading it, just so I can be notified immediately when he posts. The fact that Nick, minutes after he got his phone back, the first place he posted was Snapchat. Same with Nicolandria. The first place that she posts after she gets her phone back after a month and a half, Facebook. Where am I? Where am I? What are we doing? What are we doing? Also, Nick is also posting on Threads. We're posting on Threads. I can't make this up. Why are we not using like mainstream platforms of social media? We're doing Facebook, Snapchat, and Threads. You're killing me. You're killing me, guys. Please. That really just like is insane to me. Because anyway, like I said, I had to re-download Snapchat because a couple months ago, I was like coming to the realization, I'm like, I'm almost 27. I cannot have Snapchat on my phone anymore. Like, we're done. We're done with this era. We're done. And so I deleted it. Didn't take much. It didn't take much. It didn't take shit. Thank you, Serena, for that line. So yeah. I don't know. I'm biblically obsessed. I was on a TikTok live last night. It ended at midnight. I was on that live because I wanted to see Nick and Nicolandria interact. Like, girl, this is bad. This is bad. I think like this just proves to me that like I need some form of medication because like my sweet little precious little brain, like I can't like anything a normal amount ever, which is why the podcast is called Unhinged Fangirl, because like I am deeply unhinged. And I'm realizing it more and more and more as I get older because like, again, like I said, I can't like anything a normal amount. I have to go all in. I have to be the first to know something. I have to be the first to like just have those updates to update other people. I need to like, I need to tell her about like it's bad. It's bad and I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, a couple other notes before I leave y'all. I've been seeing some discourse about Andrina, which I don't know, but I'm just saying this is the quote that I saw. Andrina said that the Standing on Business Challenge lasted 6 to 7 hours. 6 to 7 hours. I want y'all to know, you know, I feel like a lot of the challenges take a long time to film for some odd reason. I'm like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know. It's just, I think a couple of them take a couple hours to film, but the Standing on Business Challenge lasts like 6 to 7 hours. A challenge where it's nothing but confrontation for 6 to 7 hours, baby. I'm on the floor. I'm on the floor. I'm not doing it. And it makes absolute, well, actually, that's not the same challenge, but like 6 to 7 hours of hearing people argue, being brought up in arguments, trying to stand up for people that you care about. Like, oh my gosh, I probably would have left the villa after that. I think my social battery would be done in the villa anyway, but like girl, I can't speak to no one. I can't do a confessional tonight. I can't speak to anyone. I'm not debriefing. I'm not doing it because that is insane. I mean, you're just angry for 7 hours. No. I also said that I fear that Nicolandria got the Leah and Miguel edit because there have been a lot of little moments that people have picked up on or seen in the background that we didn't see. And I know there's so much footage because these people are being filmed all day, all night, and they can't add everything. But I do feel like people were not, obviously, like the Nicolandria stands, we saw the subtleties in their relationship, even when they didn't. But I think, I mean, it really doesn't matter that they don't need to prove anything. But like, I think people would have seen more of the validity of their relationship if they would have seen like those little moments. Like there was a moment where someone brought breakfast into the makeup room, but there is a shot of Nick like sitting right next to Alandria, like watching her do her makeup, or like maybe he was just like sitting there for a second just to like talk to her. But we didn't see that. Okay, we only saw like the top of his head and it looked like a wig. So like you had to really like scrub for that, and we didn't even see what actually happened. So it's like little moments like that where I'm like, if people would see that, maybe the outcome would have been different or whatever. Because like I said at the beginning of the episode, once people saw that kiss on the daybeds, they were like, oh my God, I get it now. It's like, okay, but don't. I would rather you not. I would rather you not say that. Thank you. I do fear, well, Nick said in the podcast today, which I'm hoping they do more podcasts because I really do. I mean, I just need like my fix of like hearing about what's going on. Also, side note, in the podcast, Nick was like, yeah, I need Alandria's help like dressing me because I don't have any more clothes. Right. Nick is about to be looking right, let me tell you, if that happens. There was also another thing. Oh, he said like they were asking, why Alandria wasn't with him on the podcast. And he was like, Alandria, like, she's my shy girl. She's my shy girl. Shut up. How about you shut up? Thank you. That's all I had to say on that. But I do have to say, Nick said that, he hasn't talked to Sierra since leaving. And he made it seem like Sierra didn't even get to say goodbye to him when she got kicked off, which is interesting because I thought that at least like, they would be able to like have a moment together, not like a long whatever, but at least like hug and say goodbye. But it sounded like that didn't even happen. Like, I think she left and then they pulled him aside and was like, Sierra had to leave. So that was interesting. My nose, bro, enough. But I just have like a fear that Sierra is going to like reach out to Nick and then like she's going to be saying like, oh, I think we should like meet up in person to like talk through whatever. And then I don't know, like it just kind of scares me. But I do think that like I do have faith in Nick, and I do think that he will, not give in to whatever that may be. But I don't know, maybe the first time they'll see each other is at the reunion, if she's even at the reunion, Like, I don't know how that's going to work. I feel like Peacock won't invite them. Because like I said, if they invite Sierra, they're going to have to invite Yelissa. And it's like, do we want to do that? I don't know. I also wrote down, like, I said I need to go on a retreat and get off my phone before I actually go insane. I'm not kidding. I go to bed thinking about Nicolandria. I wake up thinking about Nicolandria. I'm at work thinking about Nicolandria. I'm on Twitter. It's all I see. TikTok, all I see. And it's honestly all I want to see, if we're being honest. Like, I'm just absolutely, utterly obsessed with them. I'm just obsessed with seeing a couple where the man is just like so obsessed with the girl. Specifically, I just love seeing someone obsess over a black girl. Like, is that such a crime to obsess over? Is that such a crime that I want that in my life? And I'm literally, I don't know, maybe it's because of my period, but like I'm in the phase right now where I am like craving a relationship. I'm craving like intimacy in a way that's like, wow. Yeah. Like literally a month ago, if you would have asked me, I'd been like, no, I don't want a man. No, I don't need a man. Why would I want that? That's so stupid. Now I'm like, I need someone obsessed with me. I would actually love that. The switch up is absolutely insane. Now, ask me if I'm doing any steps to ask me if I'm taking any steps to like make that happen. No? Okay, yeah, no. I'm not. Am I hoping that a man like falls out of the sky and just becomes obsessed with me? Sure. It's actually sick. It's sick that I'm in this phase and I don't like it. But I'm just like, this sounds so stupid. I'm going to say it and then I'm going to regret it. But like, I just want to feel close to a man. That's fucking insane that I'm saying that. Do you see what Nicolandria has done to my brain chemistry? It has altered it in a way that I am craving affection from a man. What is going on? Suddenly I'm like, oh my God, I need to find my Tom. I need to find my Nick. I need to find my Harry. Like, what? If I could bang my head against the wall and like knock some sense into myself, I would. But I think what I really need is not a man. I need therapy. I need therapy, I fear. Because like, I'm actually, and I know I've said this multiple times, I'm going insane. It's to a point where I'm like, I don't see myself ever getting rid of this hyperfixation. It's a hyperfixation that has never, I don't remember the last time I felt like this with people that I don't know. And that's scary. There are wires that are not being crossed right now. And I'm feeling a little imbalanced. So we need to work on that. We really do need to work on that. Again. Anyway, my God, my fucking nose. Sorry for all the audio listeners. I'm just literally, I can't. I don't know what's going on. And last but not least, I'll leave on this note. I'm not talking about the Justin album today. I'm not. I just know that I really do like it. Okay, just know that I do like it. I'll leave you on this note about Nicolandria. There are still so many questions, and I kind of touched on this earlier. There are still so many questions about the legitimacy of this relationship and, you know, if they even really like each other, blah, 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 whatever people are saying online. That's not the side of the internet that I'm on, as y'all know, but it's mainly from interviewers, like I talked about, from these white people who have podcasts. And it just begs the question for me. It's like, why are you questioning the legitimacy of a relationship that has the same parallels as someone like Pepe and Iris? Like, they were both coupled up with people, and, you know, those people went home, and then they found each other. That's not that much different than what Nick and Nicolandria did. Okay? And the thing is about their relationship is that they didn't jump into just being physical with each other immediately after Sierra left and, you know, Nicolandria was still single. Like, they didn't jump into things. Like, I think they really talked things through. But again, people aren't questioning the legitimacy of Pepe and Iris because they are more physical with each other. They are, you know, they're outwardly talking about their, you know, their affections towards each other. And again, not to make it about race, but everything is about race. And it just begs the question, like, why is it that it's so hard for people to believe that a man like Nick can like a woman like Nicolandria? Is that so crazy? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think that because I am a hopeless romantic, and again, it's not just about race, but like, I'm taking it there. It's not that crazy for a white man to see someone like Nicolandria, who is beautiful, smart, intelligent, poised, just like seems like such an incredible person who happens to be a Black woman. And like, it's not so hard to believe that someone like Nick could like her. I don't know. And I think a lot of people don't want to talk about that because, you know, like literally the clip that I saw today when I was trying to watch the Taylor and Clark interview with Nick Viall, literally they asked, do you believe Nicolandria? Why is that a question that you're asking? Do you believe Nicolandria? Sure, people have doubts in their intentions, but like, I think that they have made it very clear that they do like each other and they are willing to explore a relationship together. And they didn't win, so it wasn't about the money. So what's it about? I don't know. But that is where I will leave my thoughts on this, because Lord knows I'm going to keep talking about it. Lord knows I'm going to keep talking about it. I can't wait to go on Twitter after this. Honestly, I can't wait to sit in bed and look on Twitter and see what people are saying. Okay? Can't wait to see some more edits. Also, lastly, actually, if I see one more edit of Nicolandria using North by Claro, I will be doing something drastic and changing the trajectory of someone's life. Like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Because it's literally the line, what did she say? She goes, I've never let anybody in, but somehow you got under my skin. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. To Nicolandria, shut up. Shut up. Y'all know I have trust issues. Why would you do that? Why would you? No, that song actually makes me really emotional. And I started thinking about it because I played it on the way back home. And if she performs North at Lala, you will be hearing from me. You will be hearing from me loudly. That's not going to be okay. I'm going to have to like sit with my thoughts on that one and cry into someone's arms. So, yay. Yeah, I will talk to you guys next week. Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about, honestly. I feel like we'll have a couple more podcasts that we have listened into, or just, you know, things that are happening with Nick and Nicolandria. I will not be shutting up about them ever, but I will try to venture out into other topics, okay? Because I know the past 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks have just been Love Island, so I will try to do my best and not just talk about them. We have the Summer I Turn Pretty starts, which I'll get into that next week. I can't do that right now. But the Summer I Turn Pretty starting. My ATEEZ concert's tomorrow, so we'll talk about that next week. And I'm also going on a bachelorette trip this weekend, so we will be discussing that. There's a lot on the horizon, and I'm excited to share with you guys. And I'm excited to have this for myself, and it's kind of like a lookbook. No, a lookbook? I don't think that's the right word. It's like a journal. This is literally my journal. So I appreciate anyone who decides to listen. So I will now be going to bed. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And like I said, I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.